Yes, we've seen the video. The foundation also helps people to obtain scholarships abroad. Let's find out more about studying overseas with the president of Indonesia Mengglobal Foundation, Dwinanda Ardi Swasona. Good morning, Ardi.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Thanks. How are you?
Thank
Hi.
you so much for joining us this morning. We hope you're doing well. Let's just start off. Tell us about Indonesia Mengglobal Foundation and why was it built?
Okay, thank you. So Indonesia Mengglobal is a non-profit organization. Basically, our vision and mission is to inspire, encourage, empower young Indonesians to pursue higher education abroad or professional career on a global stage. The foundation was founded in 2012 by some Indonesian students at Stanford University. At that time, they thought that we have so many potentials. We have so many young Indonesians with potential to study at the world-class university, but lack of information, and they try to, build bridge to solve that problem.
So, that you're just mentioning one thing. It's the lack of information, perhaps lack of access. But other than those, what are the challenges that students here in Indonesia typically face when they're trying to study abroad? Because back in my days, I know that when I finished high school here in Indonesia, my Indonesian diploma is not automatically accepted internationally. I would have to go through a bridge college or, another uni prep perhaps. But is this still applicable now, or what other challenges perhaps are we facing as Indonesian students wanting to go international?
I think you mentioned one important challenge, which is the lack of information. But the other challenges are there are a lot of things that we need to prepare before we study abroad, right?
Yes.
For example, when you apply for university, they will ask you your motivation letter, recommendation letter, and you have to pass the requirement for the English preparation test. Sometimes you have to provide GRE or GMAT, and then some university will ask you to provide a short video profile, things like that. But that's just one thing from the preparation side. When you study abroad, you might want to find the curriculum, like how you will survive in foreign country before you depart, right?
Yep.
So we are trying to provide all this kind of information for young Indonesians who aspire to study abroad.
Mas Ardi, I was just asking Kai before our conversation, and she said it's not just about getting an education. It's not just about learning to speak a new language, but it's getting a whole life experience. How much do you focus your teachings or your mentorships towards education and the educational side of it, the academic side of it? And how much do you focus on getting someone prepared to leave the nest, if you will, for the very first time and be away from home and having to do everything for themselves as opposed to having, family close by and a support system that's they're used to?
Right, so the mentorship program is our flagship program. So basically, we try to find the best match between the mentors who are Indonesian students who have studied abroad or who have experience in living in a foreign country, with the mentees who want to study abroad, right? And then at first, of course, we try to focus on the preparation side, like how to write convincing a motivation letter, how to approach your supervisor so that they want to write recommendation letter for you. But other than that, during the mentorship program, the mentees will get an opportunity to do one-on-one discussion with the mentor, so they can basically talk about so many other things, like how to manage your money when you live abroad, whether you go there with your family or you go alone, something like that, how you perform in your classes, what subjects do you want to take in the university, something like that. So again, more than just helping young Indonesians to provide their application, but also how to help them survive when they get the opportunity to study or live abroad.
Now, I have a follow-up question. Now, how do you pair up your mentors and the students that are applying? Is it by maybe the location that they're planning on going to, so somebody has the similar experience in the same location, or is it similar studies that they're both have in common, or how is the pairings done?
Yeah, this is an interesting question. So, Paul, for example, if you want to pursue a master's degree in public policy in the United States, for example, so we will find a mentor who had experience in that specifically. For example, we will try to find you a mentor who studied public policy in the US as well.
Right.
So I have an interesting question because now personally I'm not a student, but I know if we want to have Indonesian workers that are competitive globally, we also want to encourage professional, work opportunities abroad for Indonesians. And out of curiosity, do you also prepare, professional job seeking, international job seeking people, young professionals perhaps? And if you do, how? Because this is very interesting because different from studying, there's less technicalities, but there is actually more soft skill required or just preparation, soft skill preparations that usually needs to be prepared before you leave when you're working abroad.
All right, so this foundation is basically a non-profit organization, right? Or a non-profit foundation. So all of our services are free of charge.
Yeah.
So we don't really provide like professional assistant that people have to pay for us. We don't do something like that. So in terms of professional assistant, we try to provide more information on our website and in our social media platforms. Sometimes we also do these webinars or like Instagram Live with Indonesian diaspora, for example.
Yeah.
So that's how we do it. We provide information. If you check our website, we have more than 1,500 articles written by more than 800 contributors from all over the world.
Oh.
And this is obviously something that is continuing to happen more and more in recent years. I remember when, Kai was thinking back, reflecting when she was a child. I'm going to reflect back, but we're not talking in the same era. We're very different in age. But when I was...
Why do you always do that now?
No, because when my parents sent us away to school when I was very little, it was unheard of. Like, oh my goodness, like I can't believe you're sending your kid away. How are they? Because back then we didn't even have, we just had regular telephones. You would have to make local long distance calls. So this is obviously a trend that's happening more and more. Something people are getting more used to. How do you feel that the increase of Indonesians studying abroad will contribute back to our country when they eventually move back? How do they become more of an asset for the country?
So this is also an important question. I think the idea of Indonesians go global is not something new. I think even before our independence, some of our founding fathers, they studied abroad too. And then through the decades, we also have Indonesians studied abroad.
Correct.
But I think this is a very exciting time to have more Indonesians, study abroad or have a professional career on a global scale because, like for example, we are now the fourth biggest population in the world, and then we are the biggest economy in Southeast Asia. We are a member of G20 and so on. So we really hope that more Indonesians give influence, to bring Indonesia's name on a global scale. That's the idea. But you can also contribute when you go back to the country and you try to find solution for the development issues.
Then what do you, this is just from your own perspective, what do you see Indonesians are leaning towards their studies? When you see, let's say, a group of 100 students, what do you see a majority of them trying to get educated in? Would you, for example, the financial sector or the small businesses? What do you see so far the trend is going?
I think, more Indonesians want to study public policy. I mean, I went to public policy school in the United States. More people want to study economics, some study like artificial intelligence. I think those subjects are important for the development of our country.
Definitely.
So one last question from me. Because you're also an alumni of having studied abroad, perhaps for somebody watching right now, do you have a tip on how you survive? The most important things, how to survive being abroad. Perhaps like 3 things for you that is essential for anybody who's just thinking about just considering studying or working abroad.
I think the first thing is trying to be open-minded because when you study abroad, you will get exposed to so many new opportunities. You will live in a new environment. You will meet people from all over the world with different cultures, with different perspectives. With being open-minded, it will be very helpful for you. And the second thing is time. I think time management is the key because if you go there to study, then you will have to attend class. You will have to do the homework from your professor. But at the same time, you also want to get other experience outside the classroom, something like that. And the last tips I think is that try to get most of it, because this is as you mentioned earlier that this is basically a life-changing experience.
Mas Ardi, can you share the information once again with us, maybe for our viewers? If someone is interested in taking part in your program, how can they get in touch? How can they register?
So the mentorship program is totally free. So young Indonesians who want to study abroad, you can try our mentorship program. We will try to find the best mentor for you. And you can get the information about our mentorship program on our website, www.indonesiamengglobal.com, or you can go to our Instagram. We also provide information there. And if you want to apply, you can go to www.bit.ly/mentorship2021 bahas.
Well, thank you so much, Mas Ardi, for your time. This is definitely something that a lot of people must consider because more and more people want to be, want to get that, have the opportunity to study abroad, not just for studying, but also for the experience. So thank you so much for sharing.
Very cool, Mas Ardi. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate your time here this morning. Stay healthy. Talk to you again soon.